welcome you all and your spirits, in specific your spirit of prosperity. That part of me that likes you to prosper. That's the part we're going to address this week. I'm also very pleased to announce that we have our book published. Full book form. Yes, it's on sale. We have a few copies now. The publisher told me that he'll send more, and the stores will soon be carrying. This book is called Ancestors, Hidden Hands, Healing Spirits for Use and Empowerment, written by myself. And it was a book written in one day in trance to show you the power of this stuff that we're teaching you. And when you work with it, you can make things happen and do stuff that seems not human, because it wasn't. In about 6 hours in a deep trance, I just kept writing. Then I edited, and that was that. The other book is coming out. I have another book on Ifa's Obi, which is a divination system, where I reveal secrets never revealed before about Obi, how to divine certain things that aren't taught publicly. That comes out in January, or so they tell me. Also written in trance, towards the winter, in the winter solstice I wrote that, the night before Christmas. In a deep, deep trance. So, Ashe, we praise Egun ancestors, Ashe. We're going to start with Egun. I'm going to open to the ancestors so we may get started right away, because I have a story to tell you. Very important tale to share with you. We can rise with the ancestors and Ashe. I'll be saying Ibashe, which means we honor and praise. And please say Ashe to give it power to manifest. Ibashe Orunmila, we praise Supreme Being. Ibashe Bobo, we praise the African angels. Ibashe Bobo Egun, we praise all the divine ancestors who sit at the feet of Orunmila. Ibashe Eshu, we praise the trickster. May you trick us into enlightenment. Ibashe Mami Oya. May Oya blow us to the heights of prosperity and higher consciousness. Ibashe to all the Egun who preserve the rights and mysteries of the black people, the priestess class, Ashe. Ibashe to all the regular Africans buried in Mother Africa. May your bones mystically nourish the motherland. Ashe. Ibashe to all the Egun who were taken from Africa by those of ill will. May we say never again. Ashe. Ibashe to all the Egun who crossed that sea of doom, the watery tomb, those who were pushed over, brutalized, tortured, treated inhumanely. May your bones rise from the depths of Olokun, the sea god, and chatter a tale for the world to hear again, that we are people and never again. Ashe. Ibashe to all those of the diaspora, those of Caribbean descent, North American, African, Brazilian, we are all part of one family. Ashe. Ibashe to the Native American ancestors, those who preserved us, loved us, and shielded us with spirituality and the love of Mother Earth and Father Sky. May you have your blessings, and may we help you in turn. Ashe. Ibashe to all the Egun of those who built North America, our descendants. May we receive our 40 acres and a mule and Ibashe to all those here in this room. We praise your ancestors who are hiding behind you, hidden hands floating above you, looking over you, warning you, blessing you, and chastising you, you're naughty. Blessings to the Egun. So we have love, wisdom, prosperity, money to share. May we prove the power of Africa by living well. Ashe. Thank you. Have a seat. We praise, we honor. Ibashe, we give reverence. Now, I want to get in this tale, an ancient tale from the sacred Psalms of the Africans called the Odu Ifa. For those who don't know, my name is Minister Ifagbemi. I'm a Babalawo, which means a high priest, trained in Africa. Okay. We study what's called the books of wisdom. My profession, my specialty is wisdom, the laws of life. There is a corpus of works called the Odu Ifa. Odu means many things, among them sacred scripture of wisdom, cosmic wisdom, of which there are 16 sacred books, main books. In one of the Odu Ifa, it talks about how money came to earth. The way we see things in Africa, Yoruba, all things are spirits first. Then they precipitate, concretize to physical form. Right? Like we taught, this board was once a thought in someone's head. Unseen and visible became visible. Okay? You have received Odus who've had your head readings. You have your Odu, right? Which is the spirit that gives you life. You call that spirit, you give more life force. Other Odus tell us things of the universe, mysteries of life, including money, money, money. So I'm going to share with you an Odu, briefly told to you. But you're Africans. I don't want you sitting here just listening to me. I want you to open your eye, your single eye, and see what you hear. Make the story come to life in your consciousness. And if you sit on it long enough, you hatch the egg. If you think on it long enough, it comes to you in real life. Okay. This, by the way, again, is a sacred tale of our people. Okay? The god of money lived in heaven and hid away in heaven for a little while. And the Orisha were on earth, sent by Olodumare, God Almighty, to populate the earth and make it beautiful as heaven is. But things were difficult because all they did was barter and trade. You make cloth, I make shoes. You make wrought iron, and I make huts. Let's exchange. And that was fine for a while in the beginning of humanity. But after a bit, it was a little difficult to give value from one thing to another. Are your shoes worth my silk? And it created problems. So the Orisha prayed and cried to Olodumare, please send money down. Please send currency to us as a neutral medium of exchange. The Babalaos told the Orisha to be very careful about what you were asking for. It's good to have her name is Ajay, right? It's good to have Ajay around you, but you must be careful of her because she can be dangerous, beautiful, and dangerous. The only way to really get to her is through hard work. And a very important word which you see all the time in Yoruba. I'll tell you in English. This is an Orisha. It is an angel, a god. Perseverance. Ashe? Ashe. Orunmila teaches the only divinity that can nail money is perseverance. She might blow by and blow out. Right? I told you Yoruba. We have two words for money. Owo means money, or cowrie shell. Have I shown this before? Nina and Tutu. Owo Nina, Owo Tutu. Owo Tutu means cool money. Owo Nina means hot money or get up and go money. There are two kinds of finances. That which stays with you is cool, and that which goes in one hand and out the other. They are two separate spirits. One makes you rich, one makes you feel rich. We want Owo Tutu. What we'd say in modern terms, expenditure, income, and outgo must equalize. That's Owo Tutu. Right? You see? When expenditure is more than income, you have Nina. Had this money that doesn't show for it. That's Nina. You don't want her. Right? We've all seen her. We've met her.
Yes.
We know her too well. Yes. We want her sister, Tutuko. Okay. And Orunmila told them that the path to money is very rugged and kind of bloody. So you got to hang in there, yes? Through perseverance. One night, Olodumare dreamed to Orunmila, the god of wisdom, and said, I'm sending a guest to earth. Her name is Aji. Prepare for her. Orunmila's guardian angel, his head, told him to do certain things to invite her, to welcome her arrival to this land. The angel on his head also said, whoever chases her will be perished by her. Do not chase the beauty, because the beauty will destroy you. And finally, the angel on Orunmila's head said, when she comes, be the last to greet her. Do not be the first. Orunmila listened and prepared for Aje's arrival. The guardian angel said, now, go find a parrot. Place this parrot in your house. It's a magical parrot, certain colors and certain plumage. He found this bird. The bird said a certain chant, a certain cry, in a mystical tongue. He's, what does that mean? Couldn't figure it out. But he had a neighbor, a nosy neighbor, the mother of witches, whose name I'm not telling you. I don't want to call her. Okay? She understood the talk of the bird. And the bird was saying something like, good morning, money, as you come. Good evening, money, as you go to sleep. And she knew it was an omen that money was coming from heaven. So Miss Thing decided to spread the word until all the divinities, Ogun, Shango, Yonja, that money is coming to town. I have seen the signs. So they asked, where was the bird facing? She said east, which meant money was going to come from the east, from heaven. Alright, so Ogun, you know Ogun, right? Yes. The war god, god of sweat and hard work and labor, right? Railroad man. Mm-hmm. He said, I will be first. Let me get some of that money. Y'all sit, I move my way. It's all mine, I tell you. So, Ogun, this normal, hot-headed, impatient self, went to look for her towards the east. The way money came from heaven was through like a stream of calories, like a necklace of calories, and it landed and began to pile up like a little mountain. So he hunted for 2 days and 2 nights for the goddess Aje in the woods. He finally found her, took his big axe and his big shovel that he made the night before just for this purpose, to dig out the money. And what happened to him? It avalanched on top of him. Dead. Shango goes. Oshun goes. Yemonja goes. They all go. I'm rushing to money to her. And she killed them all. Now Orunmila told them, before you go to her, come to me to get a reading. That way you'll enjoy the money that you grab. But they all said, we already prayed to Olodumare for money. He heard our call. So what's the big deal? It's already cleared. He said, well, I can only tell you. They rushed, ignored, and perished. Now, Olodumare had her own time for sending money to Earth. Right? But the greedy Risha wanted it faster than heaven's plan. So Olu said, fine, I'll send her to you. To weed out the greedy among you. Since you want it before it's time, it's yours. So be careful. What did you ask for? When you ask for it, yes? Blind, they ran to money. And they wondered, why is Orunmila taking his time? He's calm, collected, not rushing to this pile of wealth and gold and doubloons. Maybe he knows something. So he made one more reading before he went to the pile of money. And the reading said, in order to keep her, you must feed her well. Right? To keep that spirit, you must feed her well what she likes to eat. Then the reading explains the items we give in rituals, which I won't tell you yet, that we do to bring money where she eats and wants to sit in your house because you feed her so nicely. Okay? But it did include 2 pigeons, 2 ladders, and 2 U-bolts. Bolts should know you, right? He made the sacrifice on top of the money heap. He kept 1 ladder for himself, and 1 U-bolt for himself, and gave the other to Eshu, the trickster. The next morning he went to Ajay, the heap of money. He gave her the bird, and nailed the ladder to her. The reading told him to return home after making sacrifice without touching the heap of money. Don't touch her. Just put the ladder there, nail it up, but do not touch her. And he did. He came back the next day as Eshu made the ladder taller. How'd that happen? Then he began the long process of climbing the ladder to get to the top of the money. Now, as he's climbing, what does he find? He begins to dig and he finds dead Orisha bodies. Ogun lying there. Oshun lying there. All the greedy guts destroyed by their greed. But on their chests were stuck certain numbers of calories. Ogun had 4. Yanja had 7. Shango had 6. These are the numbers of the Orisha. Shango's mystical number is 6. Yemanja is 7, right? Abatala is 8. And to this very day, the priests who use calories to divine, if we say 6 shells on the tray, Shango speaks. 7 shells, Yemanja speaks. Those numbers were still the ones used for the Orisha to this day. Shio? Now, that's significant to the whole tale. Because money and divination were the same thing. Right? The tool of spirit was the source of wealth. That's important for y'all Africans. Orunmila dug up all the money, and gave it to his servants, his children, the Babalawos and the priests, and shared this money. Therefore, it is taught that Orunmila is the only Orisha who met Ajay and lived to tell about it. And he got it from the top down, not the bottom up. And if you go to Africa and you see Orunmila altars, they sit on a pile of calories. So when I take you to Africa in a couple of years, and I'll see the ancient altars.
Next year.
Okay, next year. You see Orunmila and you say, I know that story. Why that's that way? Asheo? So, that's the story. What is the story's purpose? To guide you in terms of how Africans, not Europeans, see wealth. What works for us as opposed for others. Because Africans have a lot more spirit because we're older. It's harder for us to be as cruel, cutthroat, backstabbing lying and treacherous, like 90210 or Melrose Place, Dynasty. We enjoy watching it, but it's really kind of hard for us as a group usually to be that cruel for money. Don't get me wrong, there's some dogs up in here. Not here, but not people. Right? But as a rule, it's not our way. Okay? But you need money. So the question is, what is our way? So let's break it down. Break it down. Number 1. Money was hard to get. That's the first thing you gotta know. She's a coy woman, Miss Ajay. She's hard to catch. You must appease her. I'll give you a word for that. Work? You're going to have to work for her. That's the first thing we're going to teach us. We said work comes through a channel of money called a job. Right? To do a job you need a skill. Whether it's intellectual skill, physical skill, or artistic skill. Right? So, the first thing you got to evaluate is, what are your skills? Some people don't believe they need skills to get paid. They can just go to work and sit around. I've seen people believe this. Have you met some? Just sit back and get paid. Okay. I'm on Earth, you're on what planet? Okay. Perseverance is an Orisha. I tell you, she's an Orisha. Look at heat. You must keep working until you get there. So pick your channel and work in that channel through all the pain, the agony, and the losses. Right? Right, Africans? Now we work hard. Right? We go to the Oyimbo's jobs, or AT&T jobs, or whatever jobs, working 40 hours a week. So we can do this. But I want you to start shifting it more towards our stuff. Same skills, but towards us. That's in time. Now, the Orisha begged Olodumare to bring money now. We want it now. But you see, you think you know things. Right? We think we know things. You may not be ready for money. You can even handle your bills. Right? Why should Orunmila or Ifa give you more money when you can't handle the bit that you have? The Gettys have billions of dollars. Kids became alcoholics, drug addicts, suicidal. They couldn't handle it when they got it. So before you start asking for it, be willing to work and persevere for it. But you can have it, right? But know what you're asking for. Okay. So the Orisha beg. Oh, Olodumare, send us money. Now, who received the dream of what's happening to them? Orunmila, who is who? Wisdom. Point to Orunmila for me in yourselves. Third eye. Orunmila. Intuition, right? Trained intuition. Said, I had a dream. First it said, money's on her way. Secondly it said, do not be greedy for her. Third it said, don't be the first to grab her. You know, if you're at a party, there's a lot of good food. How bad you look if you're the first to grab all the food up? It's considered just rude. Tacky, right? Because it is. It betrays a lack of generosity. So let others get theirs first. It's called what? Faith. You get yours. Let them have theirs, and you'll get yours, huh? Don't be jealous of others' money, their wealth. Don't be envious. Don't be in a hurry. And of course, greed will destroy you, right? What is greed? Who can tell us the only safe way to have power? There's only one safe way. Anybody have an idea? You better share it. Seek it not for yourself. May I have wealth that I may help the village, help my family, help the sick, help this cause, help little babies who are homeless. If you seek money from that state of mind, it's a whole different spirit that brings you the money. But I need a car and I need this, which may be true, but you don't come from that space. You see what I'm saying? It's a shift in consciousness. Same thing, just a consciousness shift. Otherwise, power will destroy you. It will certainly destroy you. Okay. Money comes of the parrot. That simply talks about parrots are what? Birds that speak, right? How did we know money was coming? The bird said it. Speech is what? It's a code for chanting. Huh? And who heard it? Who understood it? The mother of witchcraft. Huh? The magical principle inside of you understands the arrival of money. Right, Africans?